have with us Anish Pandey, who is the Director in Strategic Engagement and Emerging Markets for NVIDIA. Good afternoon, Anish, and thanks for joining this interview. Let us first start with you sharing what you do in NVIDIA, and from there, move to other questions related to NVIDIA.
Good afternoon, Kevin and the team around. My name is Anish, and I'm responsible for strategic engagements, many of the customers being in telco also, and also the emerging countries in the Southeast Asia, because that's a growing market in the region. So I take care of both the businesses for AI, HPC, and visualization for NVIDIA.
Oh, that's a big role.
Yeah.
Okay, can you help explain for lay people like me, what is the difference between metaverse, multiverse, and omniverse?
Okay, so before I explain, let me explain you. People tend to interpolate into these three terminologies, So metaverse is a virtual world where you collaborate, where you work together in a digital form that you call as a digital avatar. Multiverse is a set where you have your fixed rules, like you are in your social network, it's a multiverse. You are playing your gaming, it's a multiverse because it has own rules and laws in place.
I see.
But omniverse is the ultimate, where you can interportably move from one world to another world. So I could be in my office in my metaverse, the next I'm in a shopping, I could be somewhere else. So that's where the omniverse is, where the entire 3D collaboration comes together.
Okay, that's very clear now. Thank you, Anish. Okay, next question I would have is, how would enterprises deploy and scale AI solutions from your perspective?
So if you look at AI as a workload, there are three important parameters or three important functions. The first is you have data, you have a set of data scientists who build the algorithm or the product, as they call it. The second is you need to operationalize the AI. We need a software engineer which does the operational of the AI at a scale. And the third is about the governance, the ethics part of it, three portions of AI which is there. Now, when you want to scale AI, you have to think about operationalizing it. Otherwise, your solution tends to be only ending at a POC space. So if you can basically make a standard format, just like a manufacturing company, which can rinse, repeat that operationalization factor, that's how you can scale AI into different use cases around in the organization. The algorithm might be different, but the operationalizing technique might be the same, which you can standardize. That will scale your AI.
Oh, fantastic. I didn't know that. Okay, moving to the next question. There was recently an article about Siemens and Nvidia, partnering to build an industrial metaverse. Can you share more details about that?
That's an interesting collaboration that we're doing in the industry. Siemens is a 175-year-old organization, right from designing a product to manufacturing the product to orchestrating the entire people, machinery, the movement of it with all sensors built into it. That's exactly what they do, from a tooling to a design. NVIDIA, we are an acceleration company. We provide AI 3D collaboration through a tool called Omniverse to the Siemens accelerator program, which is basically what they have it. So today Siemens provide the core competency, and NVIDIA is using our acceleration technology to do a 3D collaboration tool through an Omniverse and helping with the high fidelity of data and applying AI for real time. Now think of a scenario like if something goes wrong with an energy company.
Yeah.
Now you can get into the same environment, different domain experts from different parts of the world, in a virtual world, trying to sort the problem out in a 3D collaboration space. So you're able to solve it then and there in a digital world, a real world problem. Second is, this is also helping you sustain because you're collecting data. So how can I build a predictive maintenance model for that energy company for future? That's where you're collecting data, AI is learning from it, and then it's making a decision based on the learning that it has done.
Wow, that's really
That's what our engagement with Siemens is all about with our Omniverse product line. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Okay, moving along, what is Edge AI and how does it work?
So Edge AI, if you look at it with the 5G coming in, most of the compute is moving towards the edge. So today, I might be computing right at the camera level with an embedded computing, or I might have some computing happening inside the building somewhere in the floor with one rack. So today, with the data collection happening more and more, because of real-time inferencing, the compute is moving from your central data center to the edge. That's what the Edge AI, edge computing. Now you'll have a lot of use cases, whether it's a computer vision related to cameras, retail, hospitals, connected cars. These all are using those edge computing, which is becoming very prevalent right now.
Okay. Interesting again. Okay, last question I have for you, Anish. I also read about UN Satellite Center is working with NVIDIA to boost sustainable development goals. Could you actually please elaborate on that?
Sure. So NVIDIA, we have got into a collaboration with UN where we are helping our part towards the climate. So under the UN Climate Charter, they have a sustainable development goals, which are 17 sustainable development goals. And NVIDIA is concentrating on the climate and sustainability part of it. So today, using a satellite imaging, I can basically predict a fire, tsunami, hurricane, or I could try and lead to a scenario which leads to lesser loss of life if I can simulate it using an AI. So that's exactly where NVIDIA is contributing towards this UN program for climate change. But we are also adding capability building, where we are providing a lot of deep learning institute courses so that people who are domain expert can take up AI expertise to build this model, because the domain experts knows more than an AI expert around that domain. So we are contributing both from aspect bringing deep learning and AI, plus are also helping to them to build capabilities of those climate researchers and other people around.
No, fantastic, Anish. I would like to thank you so much for the interview and all the best in your session.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.